Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers in basketball. And a lot of people say, really?
Oh, shit, like we talk or like...
Let me tell y'all something. Bird used to tell me, look here, man, I'm gonna go shoot this motherfucking jumper in your face right there in that corner. And it's gonna be your Christmas present. I'm gonna wrap it up and bust your head open. All that shit.
Oh my God, Bird talk trash to everybody. It's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me.
And I'm looking at this guy like, he's nuts, you know?
Did you really say that? Who's playing for second?
Yeah, I did.
People always love to debate about who the real GOAT is. But when you gather 7 Hall of Famers in a room and ask which player could steal your breath with just one jumper, the answer suddenly isn't Michael or LeBron. It's Larry Bird. Michael. Jordan once shut down a heckler who dared to question Bird's spot on his all-time list. To him, Larry was greater than any small forward the game has ever seen, even Magic Johnson, a man never shy about praising his purple and gold legacy. Admits the league was saved because Bird pushed him to new heights, and he pushed back.
I would say that we got a chance to change the league.
Yep.
What a blessing it was. He ended up in Boston. And then his personality was Boston,
right.
And it worked for the whole league.
Charles Barkley, Mr. Mouth of the South himself, calls Larry Bird the greatest trash talker of all time. When legends, rivals, and even those he humiliated agree on the same thing, you know the truth beneath it all is bigger than just numbers. But hold on, Jordan's tribute is only the first glimpse into a much deeper vault of greatness.
You and me for my Big Mac?
First one to miss watches the winner eat. Get in. Nothing but net.
I think we're gonna be here a while. I suggest you go get a Big Mac.
One knee.
Which knee? Get in there.
In a 2013 Q&A, Jordan was once again asked about LeBron James. He brushed it off with a cold truth. You guys don't get it. Larry is far better than any small forward who played the game. That line cut deep because MJ had once spent his entire rookie contract chasing Larry Bird's shadow, and when Chicago finally took down Bird's Pacers in the 1998 Eastern Conference Finals, cameras caught Jordan embracing the Celtics legend, now a coach, growling something only the greats understand.
Enjoy yourself, dog. Y'all gave us the run for our money.
Jordan's respect for Bird ran deep. He later admitted that Larry taught him more about mental warfare than anyone else. Bird would tell you the shot, the spot, and then sink it right in your face. MJ's reverence wasn't about poetry. It was about survival. And that instinct to survive, it first sparked from his greatest rival, Magic Johnson.
I called home. I said, it's true about this boy. I was calling everybody. This dude can play. So I said, let me see what he can do.
But Larry had something that most white boys don't have. Just say that. Just keep it real.
Man,
Larry was different.
I saw this dude completely eat up Jack Givens. He was player of the year that season from Kentucky, right? Yeah, Kentucky.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so that was my first time seeing him, and then to be out on the court with him in college.
Magic Johnson is known for that signature smile, but when the conversation turns serious, he gives Bird credit for nothing less than bringing pro basketball back to life. Back in 1979, NBA ratings were flatlining. By 1984, Bird vs. Magic drew a record-breaking 40 million viewers for Game 7. Magic and Larry saved the NBA. Veteran broadcaster Bryant Gumbel once said, and Magic doesn't argue, despite the Hollywood versus Hicksville image, their rivalry grew into a bond so real that Magic would call Larry my brother in competition. Their private phone calls often ended with Magic saying, I still can't believe what you did to us in '84.
Beginning, I wanted to be friends, but Larry didn't want none of that. You know, I smiled all the time, and he knew that I will smile at you, but I want to cut your heart out at the same time. So
My thing was when you compete, you're really not friends. You want to keep an edge. And I was like that through high school and through college. You know, and you got that big smile. My goal was to try to take 3 of them teeth home with me.
Charles Barkley always said Bird's tongue was even sharper than Magic's. All-Star Saturday. Dallas, 1986. Barkley strolls into the locker room before the three-point contest, talking trash about who might beat Larry. Then Bird walks in, looks around the room, and deadpans. I just want to know which one of you is coming in second.
So Leon Wood was one of my teammates, and we're sitting in the locker room getting ready for the three-point shooting contest. Bird comes in and says, which one of you is going to come in second place? Which one of you going to come in second place? Nobody said nothing. It was one of the best scenes I've ever
The room erupted. Barkley later joked he wished Vegas had live odds because every one of them would have bet the mortgage on Larry Bird.
Says, man, I wish we had casinos. We could bet on Larry Bird gonna win this three-point shooting contest.
Sure enough, Larry didn't even take off his warm-up jacket. He nailed the money ball finger in the air before the shot even dropped. Barkley's verdict, I've never been destroyed faster, and he didn't even take a single dribble. But if Barkley felt burned, Dominique Wilkins was straight up humiliated. Before tip-off, rookie Dominique reached out for a pregame handshake. Bird clasped his own hands behind his back and hissed, "You don't belong in this league, Holmes." Seconds later, Celtics' first possession, quick jab, high-arching three, pure nylon. As Bird jogged back down the court, he muttered, "Told you."
I got your first playoff game is against Boston, 1983.
Oh, it was? Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
You guys had great battles.
Yeah, that was the first time Bird ever talked trash to me. It was my rookie season. Probably the only thing he said to me, I'm guarding him. It's my first play. He's coming down. I wasn't upset he made the three. I said, but this son of a gun just called me home. That's who he was, man.
Wilkins remembers the Hawks bench frozen in disbelief as Bird rained down buckets and commentary. "They made a mistake putting you on me, Holmes." He told him mid-game that single encounter shook Wilkins' confidence for an entire season. But Bird's cruelty toward rookies reached its peak when a skinny kid named Reggie Miller mouthed off at Market Square Arena in the late 80s. The Pacers were down 3. Bird headed to the free throw line. Rookie Reggie tried a fake cough, a soft hey just to rattle him. Bird froze, stared him down, and spat, "Rook, I'm the best shooter in the league. In the league, understand?" 2 pure free throws later, Indiana was down 5. Miller said nothing. Years later, Reggie called it, "The moment I realized trash talk is a science," and Larry holds the PhD. Even hardened coaches felt that same dread. None more than Pat Riley. Riley coached against Bird for over a decade. He saw Jordan at his apex, yet he once told reporters, "If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save a game, I'd pick Jordan. But if I needed one to save my life, I'd take Larry Bird." Horace Grant backs him up with a story. Bird told him he'd fake left, then hit a right-handed hook, and did exactly that. "He gave me the script, and I still couldn't stop him." Grant laughed. Bird's mix of clairvoyance and cruelty built a myth that teammates witnessed firsthand, none more clearly than on a steamy March night in 1985. The 60-point masterpiece, New Orleans. March 12, 1985. Robert Parrish remembers Bird strolling into shoot-around, muttering, "I feel like 60 tonight." And hours later, he was calling his shots left wing, off glass. Corner 3. The Hawks bench was literally falling over each other, cheering for an opponent. The NBA fined Atlanta for celebrating an enemy's bucket. Parrish swears Bird could have hit 70 if the coach hadn't pulled him out. "We were just passengers on a fire truck," he joked. That night cemented the Bird myth. Unstoppable skill, wrapped in relentless showmanship. So what is the unanimous praise? From 7 legends really teach us about greatness. By 1988, Bird's spine ached like a rusted hinge. He'd lie flat on the sidelines, face twisted in pain. He'd packs stacked on his back. Teammate Danny Ainge remembers Bird. Day, barely able to tie his shoes, then lacing up a triple-double minutes. Later, opponents mocked his back brace until he dropped 34-17. And 9 on them, chronic pain didn't dull his edge. It sharpened it. Bird once told reporters, "If I'm walking, I'm playing." That gladiator creed is why Karl Malone once said, "Larry wasn't quicker than you. He was tougher." That toughness fuels the final question today's fans can't seem to escape. Strip away vertical leap. Forget 40-yard dash times and sneaker deals. At its core, greatness boils down to brain power and grit. Larry Bird weaponized IQ, toughness, and a venomous tongue to bend the sport and its stars to his will. Jordan respected the edge. Magic said Bird saved the NBA. Barkley, Wilkins, Miller, Riley, Parrish, and Grant. Each one carries a scar that doubles as a love letter. Their stories all circle one haunting question. Does stat sheet dominance beat mental mastery? Tell us in the comments. Drop the one Larry Legend moment that still melts your brain. Best story gets pinned. Maybe, just maybe, you'll convince someone that the GOAT conversation starts with a hick from French Lick.